Welcome everybody to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. Dr. Cush here. We are, listen, simple, easy, no fuss, no muss. We're not even shaking tonight. We are making a cocktail called La Batanga. La Batanga. Have you ever had La Batanga? Great. That's great. You might have accidentally had a Batanga. You might have stumbled into a bar one time, accidentally ordered a La Batanga and had no idea. Either way, we're gonna make it today, and we're going to show how the creator made it. And this, do I get nerdy about? We're gonna get nerdy for a second about bartenders and bartenders' habits, bartenders' superpowers, and bartenders' super moves. And we are then going to open it up for discussion on what poor old Dr. Cush's secret special say-on move is. So be prepared for that. And we're coming back right after the introduction to make La Batanga. And I push the button. Bye.
Welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Cush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink.
Like I said, we're going to get nerdy about bartenders and their moves here while we're making La Batanga. There is only one true way to make this cocktail, and if you've ever had it another way, then consider yourself completely new to this cocktail, because that's how we're doing it. So let me say hello to the people. This could be one of my special moves, saying hello to the people. Possibly. Let me say hello to Shawnee Panabaker. Good evening to Shawnee Panabaker. Tiki Court, always a pleasure to have Tiki Court in the virtual building, in the vicinity of what we would consider a building. There's Moose. I got your sound effect, Moose. Give me a second. It's animals, and then it's Warhorn. I thought it sounded enough like a moose, but it is technically called Warhorn. So congratulations on that, Moose. You are the Warhorn sound effect guy. Let me say hello to Tiki Bonbon, winner of the 2025 Cush Tucky Derby. Bonbon is probably going to be a little punchy tonight. Not from the drinking, although we have no evidence that she's not drinking. We have no evidence of that. Can't prove a negative. But she was, up late last night, and that can make you a little punchy. Let's see who else we got in here. We have BGB the Bun. Hey, whoa. Calm down. It's a lot of exclamation. Let's see. It's an easy drink. We can't get all excited about that. Wait till we're getting into the Ramoses, then we throw all those out there. But I love the enthusiasm, the Bun, I guess BGB. We'll call you BGB, and then the Bun comes later. There's DC David Clark, winner of the 2023 Cush Tucky Derby. Cush Tucky Derby coming up in May. So get your horses ready. Dougie G in the place to be. Howdy to y'all. I like this. Lulu thought this was a new drink from Apple, the Batanga, or the Batanga. This is, of course, a Spanish drink, so if you're going to put an exclamation point at the end, you have to put it at the beginning. That's them's the rules. That way you know. I wouldn't have been so surprised from this one if BGB the Bun had put all of the upside down exclamation points at the beginning. I wouldn't have been so shocked by the end of this sentence. Spanish is doing it right. I was terrified by all those exclamation points. I didn't know what you expected of me. Let's see who else we got. Just a few people chatting a lot. Paul Bellinardo. Wow, tequila. Ahora está hablando mi lengua. I lived in Spain for a while. I should speak fluent Spanish. Do not speak enough. I can get from one place to another, and I have yet to have to pee in a corner, because I can always find a bathroom. Yeah, it's still raining here in Southern California. Good to see you, Cocktail Lulu. Really good. There's Glenn Cushman with a high Cush. That's an official passing of the torch. I believe he was also called Cush at one point of his life, but I'm going to take that torch. I'm running with it. So, sorry, Glenn. You guys can all call him Glenn now. No need to call him Cush anymore. That's me. Roger G, 333. Good to see you there, Roger G. Papo O Mau Mau, just back from shipwrecked in Sacramento. That sounds fun. Sacramento. Amy is also here. They both made it. Excellent. Excellent work on both making it. That makes me happy. They are our newest locals. Glad to have you. Oh, good. Low carb cocktail guy is here. Low carb cocktail guy. What are we doing? Real sugar Coca-Cola. Tricked you. Snuck one in on you. You thought it was a tequila drink. It's a Coca-Cola drink. Really gotcha. Glenn will be in Phoenix tomorrow. I think we're sending the rain your way. So be prepared for that. It has been rainy. We are, I think this is the end of the rain. I don't think the rain killer that we made on Tuesday did anything. In fact, later that night, it got real rain. It got real bad. Almost washed the entire bar away, but we are good. Okay. Let's get into this. There are some things that I love, and one of those is bartender tricks. Bartender signature moves. There are some famous ones that I love. Constante Ribilagua Vert would squeeze his lime by hand and drop the lime in there. Trader Vic eventually started putting limes into his Mai Tais. That's how we got it. But really, the first time that we're seeing all of this squeezing by hand, insisting on squeezing by hand, that's Constante Ribilagua. Just say it fast and nobody cares. Let's get into Gary Gaz Regan. Gary Gaz Regan would stir all of his Negronis with his little finger. How freaking cool is that? We had things like Jerry Thomas would pour his blue blazers back and forth. It created a whole spectacle as all of the flaming liquid was going between things. Bartender super moves. We're going to talk about a guy named Don Javier Delgado Corona and his signature move, and I love it. Honestly, this is the type of signature move that we need while we're making La Baranga. So let's get into it. Super simple. We're going to be making 2 La Barangas. We're going to be making one with the signature move and one without the signature move. All right, one with the signature move, and then we're not going to use the signature move, and we're going to see if they taste any different. Let's get into it. We're going to start off by, let's talk about what a La Baranga is. La Baranga is a type of, in the Philippines, they had these like big, fat-bottomed water glasses. They were water carriers, just they called them La Barangas, and they were just big and fat on the bottom. So Don Javier would, and bartender, he's a dude. Dudes make fun of other dudes. That's what he was doing. He had a great friend, and he called him La Baranga. How come? Because the dude was short and fat. That is how that came to be, La Baranga. So basically, he was looking for a type of glass. He was looking for a tubo. This is a tubo. But instead, he could only find a La Baranga, a Baranga, which is kind of like a tubo. This is a tube-style glass. Baranga gets a little fatter here at the end. He was looking for one. He was looking for the tubos to serve his cocktails. Couldn't find it. Nowhere to be found. So instead, he had to buy a bunch of water glasses. So now he has a bunch of La Barangas. So that's one of the reasons this came from there. The other reason, and I really like this, I listened to his whole thing in Spanish. It's very interesting to listen to Don Javier talk about this. There's also a saying down where he is from, in a place called Tequila, Mexico, at La Capilla, which is the bar, famously also created another really famous cocktail, La Paloma. You ever had a Paloma? Delicious. Very nice. Grapefruit, soda, tequila, lime, the whole bit. That came from here. You'll see some similarities in this. Anyway, down there in Tequila, Mexico, at La Capilla, probably in a lot of places, if they say that you are in your baranga, it means you're in your water, it means you're drunk. So a little switcheroo, a little card game, or a shell game. You say that you're in your water. Somebody says, where is that guy? You say, he's in La Baranga. He's got his water. Drinking. So Two different things. One, for his big fat friend, and two, because this is going to get you there. This is absolutely, if you make this the correct way, is going to get you there. So we aren't going to be making these in La Baranga glasses, because why? What was that? Ignore the sound effects. How long does that horse run? Why? Why aren't we going to be doing it there? Because I don't have those glasses. I just don't have La Baranga glasses. So we're going to make them in the tubos, which is what Don Javier was looking to make them in anyway. Cool. Okay, so we're going to be making these in little tubos. Let's start over here. Now this, we're going to put these over here. This is important. I need you guys to all watch this. Put out, if you're, I don't know if anybody treats this as just a listening podcast. It is not. It's also a watching podcast. Oh, let me say hello to This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I just left his podcast. If you guys are looking for something to do right before my podcast on Thursday, my show, I can't consider this a podcast. I don't think I'm ready to call this a podcast. I was just hanging out in This Is My Bourbon Podcast area, and we discussed soap, how some bourbon soaps don't work. Zest, we talked about zest. So we were talking about all kinds of stuff that doesn't necessarily have to do with bourbon. And in the middle, told us about bourbon. Spectacular podcast. Highly recommend. It starts like 2 hours before my podcast. Pop on over to watch This Is My Bourbon Podcast. Find it anywhere that YouTube has podcasts. So mostly just YouTube. Okay, you got to watch this. Knife. This is important. Very important. We're going to go ahead and start slicing these little limes. We're going to cut this here. We're going to cut this here. We're going to cut this here. This is Constante Ribialagua Vert's secret weapon that he used as a bartender. Put those over here. And we're going to take this and we're going to just slice this here. Slice this here. Slice this here. Right there. And there. Now look at this. We have all of our limes. Now what am I not doing with this right now? I'm not wiping it on anything. I'm just going to put it right here. We're going to move these right to the front, and we are keeping that knife full of lime juice. It's important. Let's build this cocktail. We need about an ounce of lime juice, so we're going to squeeze all of these guys in, and we're going to drop them in. We're going to do a little ode to Constante. We're just going to drop all of these little guys in. We're going to just drop a whole lime's worth of lime juice into here. Drop all of those. We don't want to drop this one in. This one is, say it with me, garbage. That's right. This one is garbage. So we're just going to squeeze it out, wring its little neck, and then we're going to throw it away. There we go. We're going to do the same thing over here. Dougie G is asking me to please lick the knife. Doug, I can't. I want to. That is my natural state, is knife licking. I can't lick the knife. I'll show you why here in a second. We're going to go ahead and squeeze all of this into here. Now this is hilarious. We're having 2 caffeinated cocktails right before bedtime. I mean, it is 6:15 here. I am exhausted. I'm ready for bed. This is going to keep me up till at least 9:15. Good news, though, we're catching up on Stranger Things right now. So that's good. I stay awake for that. Won't sleep through it. Get all this out, and then what do? Throw it right there at the camera. Okay. Don Javier. When I watched him make this cocktail, and I watched him make it from multiple angles, multiple different ways that I watched him make this cocktail, he did not measure. What did he do instead? He just gave you a generous portion of tequila. He lived in Tequila, Mexico. This stuff, pretty popular down there. You know, it's like avocado toast here in Los Angeles. Everywhere. Everywhere. Just everywhere you go. We're going to go ahead. Yes, Moose, you have a point. 6:15 is nothing. We know, for those of you who don't know, maybe you should, Moose sets an alarm to watch this show, despite the fact that this show just stays on the internet. He doesn't have to be here, but he is here. I have nothing in my life that I would do that for, so I am super honored that Moose sets an alarm to be here. I don't think it's for me. I do think it's for chat, and I am not going to take that personally. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pour in what we think is a generous 2 ounces of some tequila. Oh, yeah. Muy generoso, güey. Vale. There we go. We'll go both. Trying to keep these the exact same. All the way to the top. Oh, dang. I've forgotten a step already. We're going to need it. Hold on. We're going to do a little transfer. Little transferito, they call that in Spanish. A little transferito. Okay, we're going to just take these guys out. We are going to, of course, very important first step, and I definitely didn't forget it for when I'm editing this later. I didn't forget this step. I did this step. We're going to take a little lime, and we are just going to rub the side of our glasses here, just like that. And we're going to take our salt, or sal. Just drop the T. We're already speaking Spanish. And we're just going to drop this right in here. We're going to salt part of our glass there. Give it a little tap. And there we go. Look at that. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Get it all of our sodium in our lives. Sodium muy importante, they say. There we go. Give it a little tap. And there we go. We have our salt ready to go. Now, turn these around so that in case I'm editing later, nobody will tell that I don't have the salt on there. How do I make it look like there's nothing there? Perfect. Pour this in. I don't know if you guys have noticed, we're getting back on the editing train. I have a new video coming out here soon all about the hurricane. They're just, they're the little shorts. But I do think something you'll notice is that I will now be somewhat cleanly shaved, because it's very distracting for me to say, why didn't you shave? Why didn't you just clean up your cheeks a little bit? You look like an animal. Anyway, if you guys notice that my neck looks a little less hairy, it's because I'm now editing. Okay, we're going to go ahead and scoop an ice. Scoop and ice. We're going to put some whipping cubes in here. We're not going to be shaking with the whipping cubes. Right in here. Right in here. Excellent. Ice to the top. Helado. Helado. Yes, Kyle makes a good point. Please don't forget to go watch the shorts. They are on YouTube. Unfortunately, for some reason, nobody's watching them on YouTube. I don't understand what the algorithm means. I don't know what a lot of math means, but specifically, I don't know what the algorithm's up to. Next thing we're going to be putting in here is just going to be some Coca-Cola. This is Mexican Coke. It has real sugar in it. That's what we want. Crack that open. Should I crack it open from here? Maybe I'll crack it open from here so I can get that. I have a little bottle opener ring. And we're going to fill this up. Don Javier was pretty cavalier about exactly how much Coke and exactly how much tequila. I think at some point he just has the same glasses all the time, so he pours it in. So just find your mixture and put the type of the amount of Coke you want in there and go from there. Okay, now here's our issue. If we look at these, you'll see something called specific gravity. If you look at these, let's do that again. If you look at these, you'll see something called specific gravity working. Down here, you'll see that it's, well, not in this one. Anyway, technically, these liquids have different weights. So some will be a little heavier, so they will want to sink to the bottom. Some will be a little lighter, so they'll want to go to the top. So we're not mixing this well. So we're going to need to stir this at some point. Don Javier has an amazing trick that he recommends or that he uses to make all of his La Barangas, and it goes like this. Take your lime-laden knife, you stick it in here, and you stir. It's a good move. You don't get a spoon dirty. You sort of clean your knife a little bit with Coca-Cola. Not an ideal thing to clean your knife with, but you're also getting that lime juice from the from the limes that you just cut. Taking that lime juice from the limes you just cut, and you're putting it back into the cocktail, stirring it around. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's gorgeous. What a cool thing to do. This is how he stirs all of his cocktails. He takes his lime knife and he stirs the cocktail. Now we're not going to stir this other one with the lime juice, knife. We're just going to stir it with a spoon. Not as good. No, no, no. We're also going to see if we can tell the difference. So, yes. Doug brings up a good point. Now I can lick the knife. Still pretty limey. Limier than I wanted it to be. Okay, this is what we got. This is La Baranga stirred with the lime knife. Get a clean cut of that. This is the La Baranga stirred with the lime knife. This is stirred with a clean spoon. What do we think? Will it make a difference? When we put salt on the rim, that is indicating to us, that is an indication that we aren't going to be putting a straw into this. We want to sip this straight from the glass itself because we want to integrate some of that salt with us. That is why I like to put just a little salt on one side of it, because if I'm not serving this with a straw and you don't want any salt, I don't want to back you into a salt corner. All right. If you don't like it, then this is just the decoration and you can completely ignore it. All right. But I do think a little salt is going to help bring out some of the tequila flavors. A little salt in Coke is delicious. If anybody's ever had I forget what state it's from. I want to say it's a Kentucky Coke, where they basically put peanuts into a Coke. Have you ever had a Coke with peanuts? I don't know why. I don't know the science behind it. Delicious. Ideal. It's a little bit of salt. All that salt is going to help bring all those flavors together, bind them all together. Let's see if we can tell the difference even a little bit. I will start with the one with, this is the one with the lime knife. Oh, it's good. I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting to taste a lot more tequila, or to have at least the tequila be a predominant big flavor in this. It is not. I'm catching the agave. It's very nice. It's very simple. But the agave is there. Really good. Pretty limey. Did put the juice of a whole lime in there, so we gotta account for that. Let's try the one without the lime knife. Spill it down the front of me if I can. Give me a second. I did this as a joke, and now I'm a little nervous. I don't want to alarm anybody. I have an alarm sound. One sec. Is that exclamation? No. Phrases? No. Crowd. There it is. This one, the non-knife lime one, tastes a little bit more like tequila. I'm getting like more tequila in this one than I am from the lime knife one. We're gonna have to battle box that. I highly prefer the taste of lime knife versus just regular old clean spoon. For some reason, I don't know what the reason is, I feel like lime knife sort of brings it all together a little bit better. There's no reason for that, right? That's just in my brain. That's just in my head. Right? Push the wrong button. Yeah, I mean, honestly, hashtag lime knife wins. Yeah, lime knife fight go. Yeah, we're gonna have a lime knife fight. Bring battle box and then with a taste battle. Yeah, I think since I've already sipped them, we're gonna have to do a battle box. We'll do a small battle box coming up to see if I can really taste the difference between lime knife and no lime knife. But currently, the lime knife brings a little bit of charm to it. I'm never sleeping again. It tastes spectacular. That tastes more like tequila. Yeah, I gotta jigger it. But okay, to be fair, I did hit the same lines in all of them. So basically, I was jiggering to this line right down here. There's little lines right there. I did jigger it, and the lines were about the same size. All right, we're gonna figure out. We're gonna solve the mystery at some point of lime knife. Obviously, with Constante Ribilagua Vert, when he would squeeze a lime in there and he would get the oils into the drink, that would change the flavor of the drink. With the Blue Blazer, you're moving that blue liquid, that fired blue liquid back and forth, so you're sort of diluting, you're sort of burning stuff off. You are changing the flavor. As much as we don't want to talk about it, Gaz Regan, when he would stick his dirty finger into your Negroni and stir it, technically changing the flavor. Is it in a positive way? No, maybe not. It depends on what he ate. But it does change the flavor. A Gaz Regan Negroni is better than a normal bartender's Negroni. I mean, whether it's just because Gaz made it or because whatever magic dust he has on his finger does change it. Does lime knife change the entire drink? I think it might. I think it might. Let's start on my lime knife one with the lime knife. Of course, I've already licked this one, because Doug's a bad influence on me. I only, I listen to what Doug says, and that was probably not smart. Tastes different. This is spooky. Stirring with lime knife, I think, is the new way. If you have a cocktail that has lime and requests a stir, something like, let's talk about those drinks, can we? The Paloma. The Paloma is a stirred cocktail with lime in it. The Cuba Libre, a big one. I think you could make an argument that if you pre-make the mint simple syrup, I think you could make an argument that the mojito could be stirred with lime knife. This is why we do the show. This is why we do the show. I'm sort of stuck in a little box about this big, almost exactly as my arm span, without other bartenders telling me what they think. I'm on the internet learning about this stuff. I think lime knife is the way to go. So there we go. We're going to go ahead and stir all of our lime cocktails that are meant to be stirred. There aren't a lot of them. Papa Umamo makes a really good point. Didn't you say to shake juices? I do say shake juices. Shaking juices is one of the fundamental bartender rules. If you put juice into a cocktail, you're probably going to shake it. You got to get those juices with different specific gravities to really mix and mingle with the other liquors in there. You're going to want to do that. Absolutely. That's why it's kind of tough to, why lime knife doesn't come up there all that often. How often do you put lime into a cocktail and then stir it? Very rarely. But in this case, you do. Don Javier is pioneer. Well, Don Javier, rest in peace. Don Javier pioneered lime knife, and I think he's right. I think you got to stir with lime knife. So from now on, if you have a drink and it has lime and it has some sort of bubbly soda water in it, and you want that extra flavor, it's got to be lime knife. Lime knife for the win. Congratulations, lime knife. Do what I want. Holding lime knife. There we go. Congratulations to lime knife. Congratulations to Don Javier Delgado Corona from Tequila, Mexico. He has got it. Uh-oh. Roger. Guessing where my finger has been is slightly less terrifying than guessing where my bartender's finger has been. Oh. Yeah, that's a good point. Now, how do I get this off here? Seems as though my... Did the whole thing just freeze? 1 second. I think my whole program just froze. Okay, there we go. Whoop. Put that up there. Yeah, guessing where my finger has been is slightly less terrifying than guessing where my bartender's finger has been. I worked with an old bar manager. This old bar manager, about them, but they did throw a glass at my head one time. They were fired immediately afterwards. I became the bar manager after I got the glass thrown at my head. That's that's not part of the whole story. They did say when they were talking to people, they said bartenders have the cleanest hands because we're constantly moving them. And for a while I said, yep, that's right. And then I thought about it for a second and I said, no, I don't think that's right. No. As a matter of fact, I think that's wrong. I think the fact that we're moving them so fast probably means that we have more of a touch radius. There's more grit and grime and garbage to be touching. So do not listen to your bartender when they say that they just have naturally clean hands because they're moving them so fast. I don't think that they were right. They also threw a glass at my head. They missed, but not by much. It really could have hurt. It's tough to think about. Really, really could have hurt. So I think they may have been a little. They're probably going through something. Anyway, that's what I got. Honestly, in the end, I think Don Javier Delgado Corona was onto something. I think lime knife is the only way to do this. So from now on, lime knife for the win. If we all want to, we can all get matching tattoos of lime knife. I will now be accepting any submissions for that. Kyle Tender says he has the cleanest hands. That's probably true. Kyle wears those gloves constantly. Surgeons have the cleanest hands, and if we want to talk about surgeons having the cleanest hands, and I think they do. I think we could. There's an argument to say surgeons have the cleanest hands. Surgeons aren't wildly moving their hands. They're not. This is if your surgeon ever does something like this, it's not the surgeon for you. It's not the surgeon for you. Something is really wrong with you. And I do think that it is time to get a new surgeon. Oh, real quick. I wanted to ask. We talked about Gary Regan. He has his stirring the Negroni with his finger. Jerry Thomas has the blue blazer. Constante Ribilagua Vert has the squeezing hands by the lime and dropping them in. Do you guys think about it? You guys know how to answer now. Does old Cush have one of those? My thought, I don't do it all that often, would be the lighting of the old-fashioned. That is my technique. I don't mean to keep bragging about it. 20 years ago I discovered that. But that would be what I would say. What's up, Forlorn? Have I said hello to Forlorn yet? Forlorn came in. Yeah, Forlorn was concerned that we wouldn't have we wouldn't have the 50,000 shake. Think about it. We'll talk about it again on Saturday when we will do what? Be here. We're gonna be here on. Excuse me. We're gonna be here on Saturday. Hopefully, I will be in a great mood. USC will have beaten Oregon, and USC will be on its way to the college football playoffs. I don't have a lot of hope for that. I don't think we're going to win. So I may be just in a medium mood. Anyway, let me say hello to Ryanella. Hey, homie. I don't think this person knows me. That's what I got for you guys. Thank you so much for showing up. Remember, lime knife is the only way to go. When are you going to share that drink with Kyle? Kyle does not drink Coca-Cola. Kyle does not enjoy Coca-Cola. And my wife doesn't eat sugar. So these will both be mine. That sounds good on a rainy Sunday night. A flamed old-fashioned. Absolutely. Highly recommend the flamed old-fashioned. Dr. Cush's Exotic Old-Fashioned. One of my favorite drinks of all time. I would say that that's the way to go. Shawnee Pandabaker is finally back. He wasn't drinking, and now he's drinking again. So glad to have you. Or lobster. We'll cook some lobster. Oh, dang it. I forgot to start the meatloaf. Okay, I got to get out of here. Until next time, what do we always say? I'm making meatloaf tonight. I was going to start before the show started, and then I didn't. Until next time. Bye. Bye, guys.